Way, look out. It's week 7, the power rankings, you little beauty. The NFL has been absolute chaos. Sucked into Sean Watson. You hate to see it happen. As we said on NFL Australia this week, what better football player than person? And he's a shit football player. Anyway, let's start with the power rankings with utter butt. Let's start at the Browns because that's how they're playing, isn't it? It's like a bloody skid mark on the NFL, I'll tell you that much. They're going through bloody quarterbacks like I go through tins on a Friday at a rate of knots. They're rubbish. Absolute utter butt. Pack her up, Cleveland. You're done. So are the Panthers. They had to turn to Bryce bloody Young again. That's how badly they were getting beaten by the commies the other day. The Titans, they just stink. They're like, hey, who's that? It's like Mason Rudolph's like, hello. And they're like, yeah, you're bad as well. The Raiders, they're horrible. They hate their coach. They're just bad. Pack her off and fire them into the sun. Miami, I mean, they almost won that game. What is Mike McDaniel doing? Like, does anybody know? Apart from, like, growing his hair out and looking like a drug dealer on the streets of Miami, it's gnarly. He looks like an extra from, like, I don't know, one of those sick, like, what was the, you know, the old ladies with the bloody, the Golden Girls. He looks like a drug dealer from the 80s. That's awesome. He's on, like, an episode of, like, the Cosby Show where Dr. Huxtable probably gets a couple of little somethings for someone's drink later on, you know what I'm saying? But it's like he's a guy that Theo's told to stay away from. The Jags, they're out of butt. But Jim, they won. I don't care. They beat this last team, who are the worst team in the NFL right now, my beloved Patriots. Drake May is awesome. I love him, but Jared Mayo can't coach, and that team is utter butt. The next tier is Aaron Rodgers is 40, the tier. The Jets, yeah, they're bad. They stink. Oh, we got Devontae Adams. The offense was never the problem. Well, it is still the problem because you can't score points, but at the same time, your defense keeps getting you, like, absolutely having your ass handed to you. It's ridiculous. The Jets, you stink, and Aaron Rodgers is 40. This is the might be cooked tier. Next up, the Saints. There's not even so much a might be cooked. Their coach is Dennis Allen. They're completely cooked. They suck. The Niners, this one hurts because I had them like up in the, half decent bloody good tiers last couple of weeks. They've just hit a tipping point of injuries, though, where they just might be cooked. Like, they've got no off. Like, their offense is like banged up George Kittle at this point and banged up Jordan Mason. That's not good. Brock Purdy's like, geez. Now we all find out how good I am. Tampa Bay, exact same sort of thing. Like, I love Tampa Bay. I love me some Baker Mayfield. They just might be cooked because their entire offense just got hurt as well. Between Mike Evans and Chris Godwin's foot went that way. And he's like, went that way. Have you got HBA? I hope so, Chris Godwin. Jeez. Tampa Bay might be cooked. And the Giants, there's not even really a might be about this one, but the Giants scored 3 points against the Eagles the other day. 3. Danny Dimes got benched. I think they're pretty cooked. Next up, they kind of actually suck. These two teams played, and one of them won. Atlanta. They suck. They got beaten by the next team, Seattle, who kind of still actually suck. The thing is, you give Geno time, he can win you a game. Atlanta, they suck so bad, they went, it's probably fine to give Geno time. It wasn't! Spoiler alert! Then you got the 2 LA teams. They kind of suck as well. The Chargers, they couldn't beat this horrible Arizona team. Juzzy Herb's out there piffing it around to nobody and like over 300 yards, and they still kind of suck. Same with the Rams. They almost lost to this horrible, utter butt Raiders team. What are you doing, Sean McVay? Saw your stuff out. That was off a bye as well. I thought you were some sort of brain genius. Not bad tier. Denver. It's a bit of a surprise. They're not bad. Bo Nix, not bad. They did just absolutely whomp the Saints because Sean Payton had a bug in his bum about bloody beating the New Orleans Saints. But they did, so they're not bad. The Arizona Cardinals pulled it out, the game winner at the end of that game. Not bad. Kyler Murray, sure, he still looks like a toddler running with a loaf of bread. The Cincinnati Bengals, they just pulled that out as well. They're not bad. They're also not good. The offense is good when they play a bad defense, if you know what I mean. Here we are. The Colts, they just snuck out a win as well. They're not bad. They're also not good. And Anthony Richardson, is Anthony Richardson good? Someone tell me. Is he? I don't know. Chicago, they had a bye. So did Dallas. I think both of them, not bad. Dallas they might be bad. We're about to find out. Yeah, half decent. These teams, the commies. If Jaden Daniels is healthy, they're better than half decent. But at the moment, he's dealing with rib injuries. I don't want any bar of that at the moment. The Steelers, half decent. the half being the defense. But then Rusty Wilson comes in, just throwing long bombs. He's like, someone's probably down there. Not bad. Half decent. The Eagles. That was a pretty good whomping of the Giants. Nicky Sriracha saved his gig. And the Green Bay Packers. Look, they are half decent. I want to be more convinced, though, by the Packers, right? Like, there's just something missing every time I watch them play. The same kind of goes for the Houston Texans. I've still got them in the bloody good tier because they kind of just, they're in the AFC. They're in the AFC South. They're going to run away with that division. They're fine, and they're kind of bloody good. I reckon they're going to get better as the season goes along, and so do Green Bay. Maybe we should bump Green Bay up into the bloody good, but I don't know. They kind of both split that tier. Anyway, the rest of the bloody good tier, the Baltimore Ravens. They might be the best team in the AFC, even though KC's undefeated. It's ridiculous. The Vikings, they finally lost, but I still think they're pretty bloody good. They almost won that game as well against Detroit. It was very fun. Buffalo, they now have Amari Cooper. They are bloody good. Josh Allen's like, what's this? A guy who can catch balls? Sick. And Detroit, they are bloody good. They might be the best team in the NFC. I've got a lot of time for that Detroit team. Despite losing Aiden Hutchinson, as I mentioned, the Texans, they're kind of like bloody good, half decent, don't know. They in Green Bay. They're on a tier by themselves, which is probably. And then the final tier, they're smashing tins and stacking wins. It's all they do. They're kicking ass. What is it? Kicking ass, chewing gum, taking names, and they're all out of gum. That's what Kansas City do. They are smashing it. Are they going to go undefeated? No. Are they awesome? Also, no. But they're bloody good, and they're smashing tins, stacking wins. That defense is the story of the season so far. Because Pat Mahomes, he's actually sneakily bad. Anyway, there you go. Tune in for more NFL Australia throughout the week. Plenty of stuff to dig into. Subscribe or I'll fight you.